Hi, I'm Liz Heinecke, the Kitchen Pantry Scientist, and this is my new book, Biology for Kids, which contains the biographies of 25 scientists, past to present, along with projects related to their work so that kids can get their hands into what they've been reading about. And today I'm going to show you just a few projects from the book to give you an idea of what the book is like. So one of the scientists I talk about in the book is Ernest Everett Just, and he was an early cell biologist and developmental biologist. And the project I have related to his work is an osmosis project. So kids can take raw eggs, dissolve the shells in vinegar, and they will be left behind with a squishy, rubbery egg that's contained only by the membrane. They can then take this egg and put it in corn syrup overnight. All the water moves out of the egg and into the corn syrup, and they are left with a shriveled up, squishy egg. But it's a really fun, kind of gross experiment that kids love to do to learn about osmosis. I also talk about the biologist June Almeida, who discovered coronaviruses. And kids can make model coronaviruses using Play-Doh or sculpting clay by just rolling it into balls and adding these little spikes, just little rolled up spikes onto it. That represents the spikes which are used to make vaccines, the spike proteins, and it also shows kids why they're called coronaviruses. If you look at them, it almost looks like they have a crown around them, or they look like the sun with the corona around it. In the same lab, I talk about immune molecules called antibodies, which help protect us from bacteria and viruses. And kids can learn how June Almeida used antibodies to clump all these coronaviral particles together so that she could better see them under her microscope. I also talk about immunology in the book. The Russian scientist Elie Mechnikov learned how white blood cells called macrophages can gobble up foreign invaders, whether it's particles or bacteria or viruses. So kids can make model white blood cells that are super squishy and fun and demonstrate phagocytosis by mixing together 2 parts corn syrup and 1 part water to make this non-Newtonian fluid that acts like a solid when you move it around and acts like a liquid when you let it relax. So they fill the balloon up with this, and then they can take any object, but let's try a viral particle, and see how a white blood cell or a phagocyte can gobble up an invading particle. So I explain in the book how phagocytes gobble up bacteria and viruses. They kill them, they break them up, and they spit them back out and present them on their surface so that your immune system can recognize them better the next time around. All right, finally, Dr. Patricia Bath is an amazing female scientist who discovered the technology for doing cataract surgery. She came up with it. She's an inventor and a scientist. And people who have cataracts can't see very well, right? They have cloudy lenses on their eyes. So to experience this, kids can put waxed paper over toilet paper tubes or paper towel tubes using rubber bands and look through it to see how they can see light and dark and some images, but their vision is really blurred. Then, to understand more about the importance of cataract surgery, they can remove these cloudy lenses and put saran wrap, which is clear plastic lenses, on their tubes. And in the book, they learn about what cataract surgery is, so they can sort of get a feel for it themselves by replacing cloudy lenses with clear plastic lenses and looking through them to see that their vision is now almost perfect. So it gives kids a sense of how important the work of Dr. Bath was to restoring the vision of millions of people around the world. Those are just a few examples of the projects in the book. This is Dr. Charles Turner was an animal behaviorist, so kids can also make mason bee houses using old cans, straws, and rolled up paper. There are a bunch of fun projects in the book, and I hope you have as much fun reading it as I had writing it.